between the Cuban world champion Pablo Romero and Nelson Adams from Puerto Rico, one of 3 Puerto Ricans into the gold medal round. And let's go to the ring announcer, Michael Musa.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next bout in the 81 kilogram, 178 pound weight category. In the red corner from Puerto Rico, Nelson Adams. And in the blue corner from Cuba, Pablo Romero. Señoras y señores,
you're looking at Pablo Romero, who has made more noise outside of the ring this week than in so far, being one of the principals involved in that scuffle with the anti-Castro demonstrators earlier in the Pan American competition. He won a retirement decision over Andrew Maynard of the United States in a bout that he was losing on all scorecards after the first round, but Maynard going down with a sprained ankle and having to retire. So Romero is here defending his Pan American gold medal. He is the current world champion and a former 1982 world champion as well. 26 years of age from Pinar del Rio. Nelson Adams is 20 years of age from Fajardo, Puerto Rico. His coach is Jose Vellon, who lives in Cuba. And Adams, a bronze medal in the 1986 Central American Championships. But Gil, obviously not nearly as experienced as the very confident, to say the least, Pablo Romero.
Well, Tim, look, Pablo Romero is a mature fighter. He's 26 years of age. He's Nelson Adams. You can still see the baby fat on him. He's a 20-year-old kid, still growing. Good prospect, good balance, knows how to fight. Maybe a year or 2 away, fighting a big, tough, strong guy.
Referee in the bout is Len Johnson of Canada. Round 1. Most of that music in the background being supplied by the Puerto Rican fans who are here in force, with 2 of their boxing team members going for the gold today, and they have one in the bank, Luis Roland at 106 pounds. He defeated Michael Carvajal of the U.S. yesterday.
Romero has such a long reach, Tim. I think he could hit you with a jab if you were sitting in the corner and he was sitting in his corner.
Adams defeated Martin Amarillas of Mexico and then Wilfred Moses of Guyana.
Adams is a good-looking fighter, Tim.
Romero had a tough time against the Canadian Brent Kosolowski before he got by Maynard to make it into the gold medal round. A very tough fight against the Canadian, and Romero seemed to tire in the 3rd round. Interesting day for the Puerto Rican coach, Jose Vellon. He's married to a Cuban woman. He was there boxing in 1974. Met the lady he married, now lives in Cuba, but he says no problem. He wants his Puerto Rican boxers to win today, obviously, against the Cubans, despite the fact that he is now a resident there.
Very little action, Tim, especially after that the flyweight bout.
There you see Jose Vellon in the Puerto Rican corner, the coach of the very representative. Even the boxers that have lost have been impressive for Puerto Rico in the games. Good combination by Romero, and Adams with one solid counterpunch, and down Adams goes. The quick hands of Romero finally connecting. Adams up quickly, but takes the 8 count. Final seconds of round number 1. Romero trying to crash that big right hand, but it was blocked by Adams, and the bell sounds, ending the 1st round. And as the pace just picked up in the last 30 seconds or so, it seemed Romero was able to close the distance, Gil, and landed that one good shot. Let's see it.
He's so much bigger and stronger than Adams, Tim. You have to remember, Adams is still a kid. Here comes that left hook back behind the right hand. That's the way you're supposed to throw it.
Your judges from the United States.
Here you see now Romero throws that right hand, comes back with the hook, and down he goes.
So Pablo Romero with a strong finish in round number 1. Gets some counsel from Alcides Segarra, the Cuban coach, who's already got 5 gold medals in the bank with his boxing team. 6 after the one today by Adalberto Regalado at 112 pounds over David Griman of Venezuela just a few minutes ago. Round number 2. Espinosa and Juan Lemus, a real bomb throw with the right hand, and the big heavyweight Savone, also a big right hand puncher.
Good right hand over Adams' left jab that time, Tim. And Adams has hit Romero with some right hands, but nothing's happened.
Pushing caution to Romero.
Looked to me like Romero was loading up with that right hand just when he said stop.
Totally different approach by Adams with his style to Romero than what Maynard was doing in his fight. The American got in close, worked on the inside, and worked effectively, smothering those big bombs of Romero and scoring with some real zip inside. There's a good right hand by Adams, jerking back the head of Romero, and the cocky Romero gives him a smile. Adams trying to press the issue.
Punch for punch, Tim. And Adams is the more accurate of the two. Inside.
And Romero goes laughing away, but a solid uppercut took the smile off his face.
Sure did, Tim. What a difference. A lot of that confidence went right out of him that time, like a deflated balloon.
Well, Adams showing a big right hand by Adams. No respect for the world champion. Backing up Romero.
Tim, if Romero took that rap, he's going to take any punch that Adams hits him with.
Caution to the Cuban corner to Coach Segarra for vocally coaching. That's a no-no in the amateur boxing rules. And again, now I see the pace of the fight comes down. There's Bayonne being warned.
That's what always happens, Tim. They just seem to lose the overall presence, these officials.
Now, there's no question that that affected Adams. He had picked up the pace. He had Romero backing up, and then all of a sudden they're starting over again.
You know, you can wait till there's a clinch or a lull in the action, but they always seem to step in at the wrong time.
Adams certainly got himself back into this nonetheless after a good finish at round 1. The knockdown scored by Romero. Under 30 seconds we go in the second round. And we haven't seen a grin from Romero since that uppercut. It opened a little nick on the inside of his mouth, we can see. He's had some blood inside his lips. Has a bit of a shiner that must have occurred in an earlier bout. Remember, these youngsters have to come back after a couple of days to continue. That's the end of round number 2. And a good round as we saw it for the Puerto Rican Nelson Adams from Fajardo, Puerto Rico. And his coach, Jose Bayonne, you can see, is really trying to stoke him up in there, saying you've got a chance to win this, and what an upset it would be.
Let's watch this action, Tim. Here goes Adams underneath. He comes up with a beautiful uppercut. That took the smile off his face and deflated the balloon, and the hook right behind it. Look at that straight man. He is a very, very good technical fighter, Tim. He's not as big and strong as Romero, but he is a good technical fighter. Knows how to fight. He's a great prospect, 20 years of age.
178-pounder, the light heavyweight division, these Pan American boxing competitions. Final round. Pablo Romero on the left of your screen. Nelson Adams of Puerto Rico on the right.
Tim, I have the fight dead even, but so far in the tournament, the Cubans have owned the third round of every tight fight.
Good combination by Romero. Adams stays right there with him as a left back, and there's that uppercut.
Boy, Romero is throwing bombs, Tim. If he doesn't get him out of here, I think he's going to be tired in the last minute of the...
Oh, huge right hand.
What a right hand.
And they'll give him a standing 8 count.
No, Tim, he's just warning him. This referee...
My goodness. That's Len Johnson of Canada. I thought he was going to give the Puerto Rican a standing 8 count, but he took that punch very well. Romero was letting it all hang out. Now Romero.
He's nailing Adams pretty good now, Tim.
Freely, and Adams not punching back.
He got hit some bombs, Tim.
Adams looks real tired all of a sudden.
Well, he's only a kid,
keeping
Tim.
the pace up.
Only a kid.
Looking to his corner, Nelson Adams.
Well,
that right hand might have hurt him more than we realized, or even the referee did at the time.
Tim, the coach can't give him any gas. There's no sense looking to the corner. He better get a second win. As we've said, though, the Cubans have owned the 3rd rounds of every one of their fights.
Tremendously well conditioned. They select their teams in May, and then they train only. No further competition. They just
It's target practice now, Tim.
Oh, down he goes.
That's
Nelson
it,
Adams. He's an exhausted fighter, and that's going to be it. Len Johnson says it's all over. So Pablo Romero, with 1:38 remaining in the 3rd round, has scored yet another Cuban gold medal victory, the 7th gold in the boxing competition. And Pablo Romero, the world champion, with a knockout scored here in round number 3. Go back and see the punch that did it. But, you know, I have the feeling that really it was that.
Pushed him off with an open glove, Tim, and hit him right on the chin. But again, the referee didn't see it.
I think the damaging blow was the one back where I thought they were going to call a standing 8 count, and they didn't. But we'll see the knockout blow again here from Romero. But you can see that Adams really looks out of it. He was looking to his corner. His legs seemed to be gone. And I think it was the punch earlier that just basically finished him, and he was a game guy just trying to hang in there.
That's all he was able to do, Tim.
So there's a look at Pablo Romero, very much in the news all week, in and out of the ring in these Pan American Games. We'll be back with more boxing action here. We've got 2 Americans going for the gold today, and we'll return to Brent Musburger in our broadcast center after this from our local station.